So about this video, we really went through some hard stuff in this video, and it really is cutted a lot. But what we're making is something like this, and I am going to show you the wrong way, or like the wrong footage during the video. I'm saying this after the recording because I know about it after, of course. Yeah, basically we are making this. And this is how it's going to look like. I'm not going to focus on the CSS too much right now. You could have any CSS you want, but I'm just going to give you the idea of how to make this. And the information is going to come from Google Sheets, basically. You could format this in another way, sure, possible, for sure. There is smarter ways, of course, to format this, but this is a simple way. It's only a tutorial. And the purpose of the tutorial is to give you the idea in basic manner. So yeah, enjoy watching the video. Alright, welcome to this video, and if you're down bad, because that's why you're in this video, I'm going to show you how to make round robin, and to continue with it, a bracket. This is gonna probably take 3 videos, maybe more. We'll see about how this one goes. But basically, there's a few things I'm expecting you to have before you start this video. The first one is common knowledge about HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and also have these extensions. Not this one, basically Mithril Emmet is a good one, live server, and material icon theme. You don't have to have it, but it's a good one. Yeah, so if you want to stay in this video, download these 3. I'm not going to show you how to download them because I assume all of you have like more than 10 IQ. Basically what we are going to make is this inside a website. And why do we use live server? You could also use localhost, but the problem with localhost is that it takes very long to update, and since I'm making a video, we don't have much time. The idea behind this is that the information comes from Google Sheets, basically the pattern of the matchups and also the names. So when you change it up in Google Sheets, it also changes in the website. Yeah. So basically, let's make a new sheet. The first thing you want to do, the name doesn't matter at all, to be honest. I'll just call it matchup system, I guess, something like that. Doesn't really matter, but the sheet name is important. So we're gonna call this one, let's say information sheet. Simple and easy. Alright. So as mentioned, what do we want here? We want first the match pattern of the groups. So basically we can just write first things off, we need to fix 2 settings. It's not required, but it's good to have. If you go to calculation, you want to have on every minute. Like this. And then when you go and share it, you don't have to share it with anybody, but just do this and with the link and done. Because otherwise, JavaScript will not be able to access your ID. Like anyone can have this ID, but unless it's open, the JavaScript cannot access it, and that defeats the whole purpose. So just have it open. You don't have to share the link, but just have it open. Nice. Basically, next up, we're going to make the pattern. So round 1, and we are going to have let's see, number 1 versus number 3. So we can just write 1, let's say group 1 team 1, and make 4 more of these. Copy, then just make this 2. Let's call this Alright, so now we have the team list. What you could do is just hold the Control Shift down key and just delete those because we have no need for them. You could do this the same thing here. You just choose all of them and delete. This is to decrease the risk of an error in the JavaScript code. So you can just call this group and name. Alright, so we also want to add one more to the left and one above. Oops. Above. Just to make this simpler. I'm gonna do it like this. Alright, now the data is going to start here. So this is the data we're going to send. We can choose which data we want to send. Like we could have another sheet before it called sheet 2 and we're still gonna get this data because we can choose exactly which data we want to send. So don't worry about that. Alright, so we have the basics done. Now we can start with the code. And to do that, we just can make a file. Let's call it, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just gonna call it index.html. And then I have this mth shortcut, which makes me, provide all of this in 1 second. Main.js, we're gonna call this. But you can just pause the video and write this if you want. And when it comes to copy paste, I have buttons on my mouse, so I'm not gonna really say copy paste. Instead, I'm just gonna hope you understand that I'm copy and pasting whenever I mark something, because it's a pain in the ass to copy paste just like that. Anyways, don't mind these stuff, they're just mine custom stuff. And allow, okay. So we have an empty HTML file right now, and that's what we want basically. So right now we want to start with JS. We want to do the matchups, and basically the matchups are following. We can write the let. You can do a const variable, whatever you want. I use let because it's easier. I've always done it, so do whatever you please, to be honest. Alright, so basically let match ups equal to, and then we're gonna do array, and inside of this array we're going to have curly brackets. The first one is going to be, let's say, no, actually, let's have an array inside an array instead. It doesn't really matter, both works. There's like a way to enter both, so don't worry about that. We're gonna team 1 versus team 2, and the next matchup is going to be team 3 versus team 4. Just copy this. Then we have team 1 versus team 3, 3, then 2 versus 4, and at the end we're going to have 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Alright, so if we console log this, let's see what happens. Console.log, and we can say matchups. Oops, let's see what happens. And inspect it, console, and we get an array of 6 stuff. And the first one is match 1 versus 2, 3 versus 4, etc. This is what we need for the groups. Why do we need only one? There's 2 groups. We need only one because it's the same pattern. We're not gonna make a new pattern because it's another group. It's still the same group, basically. Alright. Now we have the information. Now we have the team names. We don't really need this, to be honest, but we're just gonna have it anyways. Actually, we don't need it whatsoever. Let's do this. Alright, this is the information we're gonna pick up later. So in order to pick up something with the sheets, I know there is lots of stupid tutorials out there on how to pick it up. There's such an easy way to do it. That's not ancient, and it's like this. Quite simple, to be honest. So first, you're gonna put the sheet ID in here. Alright, what is the sheet ID? Yeah, it's this one. This is the sheet ID. We unlocked it, remember, by doing the share thing here to open it. Alright, we have the sheet ID. We enter it here. Done. And next up, we're going to enter the sheet name or title. It's called information sheet. Copy. Go back. Paste. And then the range. Where is the information in this sheet? It's in C3. You see C3 until, you can just write C because there's nothing below it, but otherwise you could write C10. So I'm gonna write C3 until C. I could write C10 as well, doesn't matter, it's still gonna give the same result. Alright, so what this is making, it's giving us the, let's just rename this to sheet row instead of having it in Swedish. Alright, basically we have the information. What it's doing, it's parsing this information with its custom, how do I say it, custom sheet API pickup data thing. You can see that it's saying sheet here. It's asking about the sheet, you give the sheet title. It's asking about the range, you give the range. It's not more than that, to be honest. And the D here stands for ID, maybe, I don't know. And this stands for GWizard. You don't have to care about it. This shit gives you the information you want. That's all you have to care about. And this shit provides you the correct format, a JSON format. What is JSON format? It's basically putting the information inside a box. And you can just pick up the information from the box. That's what the JSON is basically. It's JavaScript string object notation, or JavaScript object notation, I think. I don't really care about it. It works anyways. So if you console log data, oops. So we should be getting. Oh, by the way, this thing, don't change it. Just keep it. I know you might be suspicious about it first time, but keep it. If you have a problem right now, it's not this or this. The problem is probably here or here. No, probably here. So if you have a problem right now, it's not here, I promise you. Alright, so if you go back here, and refresh, we should be getting the data. And it's inside of table, rows, and the stuff here. It may be look complicated, but it's not so complicated, trust me. You maybe don't trust me, I don't care. Anyways. Next up, we are going to start the code. We want to pick up the team names. So we want to create an array to put the team names in. We want to make it public. How do you make it public? Yes, you put it outside everything, like no brackets. And in order to access it, it has to be before the sheet thing. Alright, so we're gonna call it let my teams. You can call it whatever you want, doesn't really matter. We're gonna have it as an empty array. And we could put the length as 7 because it starts from 0, but we're not gonna do it, it doesn't really matter. Alright, so now I'm going to explain to you how to pick up the information. There's a simple way, but all these stupid YouTubers makes it so complicated. And I don't like the other YouTubers, that's why I'm making this video. Let's see if I can do this. Like this? Maybe, yeah. Alright, so ignore everything else. Just look at this. So this is data, right? So far, you're with me, I hope. Otherwise, you're stupid. No offense to you. So this is data, okay? You want to access the data. And in JSON, when you want to access something, you write a dot. Alright. And what does this say? It says table. So you want to access, but just comment this out, copy it. So you want to write a dot to open something. What do you want to open? You want to open the table. Remember what table is? Let's just copy this again. Alright. So data, right. And we write a dot to access, and then we write the table. Do not spell it anything special, spell it the same way. Because if you write something else like tables or something, it's gonna get undefined. So do not play smart. Just write it as it is. So right now we're inside a table. You could delete this, but I'm just gonna keep it. You can delete this if you want. You can delete this too, but I'm just gonna show you how to access the information. Basically, the information we want is inside of rows. How do you enter rows? Same thing. You just write dot rows. Alright, now we are inside of rows, and to make it like more clear, table rows. So it is inside rows right now. Now here is the special thing. This is not this is an array right now. When you enter an array, you need to write a bracket, and let's say we want to enter first one, then it's a 0. Right, we got one of the 8 right now because we chose the first one. If you were to write 5 here, it's going to, in JavaScript it starts with 0, so it's going to be 6 one, and we get the 6th one right now. There's a way to pick up all of them using a for loop, which is super smooth way also. So what did I click now? Now it's not an array, it's a curly bracket. So you write a dot, and what's inside of the curly bracket? It's a C. So dot C. So we are inside of the C. C stands for cell, I think, in case it's unclear. And now you see it's a bracket. So we need to enter the bracket, and inside the bracket is only one object, and so you write 0. Now we are inside the object, and now it's a curly bracket, so it's a dot, and inside it it's a V, so V. And there we have it, team ABC. So what's the catch here? The catch is you want this to go from 0 to 8 to pick them all up. To do that, you need a for loop. But to also do that, you need the length of the rows. To get the length, you do let my team's length equal to, you copy this, and you write dot length th. Alright, now we have the length. This is going to be 8 or yeah, it's gonna be 8 or 7. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, we could just comment these out for now. Now we have the length as well. This is going to say 8, I think, or 7, 8. I think 7. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now we're going to make the for loop. For. Oops. The bracket, and we going to make it easy way. Let you could write apes here too if you want, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna have it as I. You could write x here, you could write whatever you want. I just use like I because that's what every stupid person do. And you can have it when I is bigger than my team's length. No, when as long as it's smaller. I mean, as you can tell, the I goes right now from 0 to 8. So if you console log I, you're gonna see that it goes from 0 to 8. No, 0 to 7. Oops. No. Yeah, 0 to 7. And that's exactly what we need, because it goes like... This is wrong. Screw it. like this. And put this up, this side, this. Alright, so this is what we're looking at right now. This is column 0. It's this one. Where is it? This one is 0 column or cell. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And this is the rows. We want the rows. We have now the I. This one goes from 0 to 8. We want to put the I. It's also a number, so we can put it inside of here. So we can say also that my teams I, because we can choose which item we want, and we put it to equal to, and we copy this one. But instead of saying 0 here, we're gonna say I. What you can do right now is, even if you go outside this curly bracket, you're still gonna have the data, console log and my teams, and it should give you your teams. There, team ABC, blah 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 blah. All right, now we have the team names. Now let's put them inside groups. To do that, you make a group. Let's call this let team ABC, blah 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 blah, and if you check them to this, it's those teams, which is what we want basically. The first way I did it was impractical, but this one is a bit shorter than the other way, so I like this one more. Okay, we have the groups right now, and we have the pattern, so that's really all we need to make. Can't I make this bigger somehow? To make this one, the match pattern. And to make the match pattern, it's not very hard, like the matchups in HTML. You first have to make a container inside the HTML file. Can we just do this? No, it doesn't want to. Let's just make this big instead. Make this maybe bigger. Alright, so we gotta make a div. Let's call this div hashtag. The hashtag stands for ID. What ID do we want? Let's call it container. Simple and easy. Alright. You do not have to fill anything inside the container because we want the, what do you say, the JavaScript to do it for you. Alright, next up is doing the job, I guess. So what we want to get the container, so we're gonna write document dot get element by ID container. Alright, we have the container right now, and what we want to do next is creating for elements for, what do you say, this stuff 2 times, like all of this 2 times. So we need the loop that does the loop twice, creating this for both teams, for both groups, I guess. For that, basically we're going to create an element, document dot create an element, and we're gonna call this element is going to be a div. And oh wait, let's my first div. Okay, so now we have created a div. Now where do we want this div to go? It's just a div, it's just floating right now. You want to place it somewhere. To do that, you want to append it. Let's see, let's container equal to. Alright, so you take the container dot append, and what are you appending to it? You're appending the first div to it. So if you give the div, like you can give multiple things to it. To give an ID, you write my first div dot ID some ID. You can name it whatever you want, ID. To give it a class, you just write class name and some class. You can really do whatever you want with this. You can turn it off, you can remove it. Like if you want to hide it, you can just do, or you want to give it some text content, you do dot text content hello, and now it should have some text content right now, hello. And if you want to, let's say, hide it, my first div dot style dot display none. Now it's not going to appear because it's hidden, but it's still here in the container. There, it's still there, but the display is none. You can do a lot with this. You can do even more than this stuff, but I'm just gonna keep this code here so you guys have it in case you want to give it an ID. I don't know what you want to do. Right, so we have our div right now. We don't want to give this text content. Let's actually make a loop, but not for the two groups, just for group 1. Group 2 is gonna have its own loop. So I take back what I said before. For loop. Thing is, I didn't write this code before, so alright, so we're going to say let's say let x equal to 0, x is less than 1, and x plus plus. And I'm making this code simple so you guys can understand it too. I could write more complicated code, but then you guys are not going to understand it. So right now it's creating 4 of these, and I want to append it as well. So I'm appending 4 of them right now. So if I give this text content right now equal to x, so it's gonna go from 0 to, actually this should be 4. 0 to 4 right now, because there's 4 teams in a group. So if you wanted more groups in a group, then increase it by all means. And as I'm thinking about it, we can just do this dot length. And practice on doing the dot length instead. It's better. Oh, it's because the length is 0. Sorry. I mean, this one is the problem because it's picking up the information when it doesn't exist, so we just can put this length as 4. As 4, okay. Now it's working, I guess. I hope. There you go. Basically what we can do right now is just take this group 1, text content, and x. That should be working now. Yeah, it doesn't work because it's not picking up the information. To do that, we have to make a button, or there's always more simple way to do it. You just put this shit inside the fetch, like this, and that should solve the problem. I didn't think it through. Anyways, there's the teams. So we know right now that we can get the teams. Next up is going to be making the patterns, and we have the groups right now, and we have the pattern. So we gotta remove the text content. We wanted to create the matchups, right? Yeah, we want to create the matchups. I don't know what I'm doing right now anymore. We want to make the matchup, so let's say +2 here, and we're gonna make the first matchup, which is going to be, we're making this right now, but also instead of versus we're gonna have like 0, I guess. Because you need to enter the result somehow. Alright, so we're making this right now. The divs for it. And let's just mark it like this, something. Alright, so we need 4 divs to make this. And how do you create a div? You just create it. We can keep the container, but this stuff we can delete. So we're gonna create this is gonna be called home team. Then we're gonna have an away team, and between them we're gonna have home team result. And this one is not going to be a div, this one is going to be an input. You could have it as a drop down as well as select, but I'm making stuff easy today. I'm not gonna make it too complicated, because when you do a select, you have to pick up the information in a specific way. I'm not gonna do it right now. It would take too much time. Or it wouldn't take too much time, but I'm trying to make this video a bit shorter, I guess. So these are right now just floating. They don't really exist inside of the index. So my first div is inside of the container. The container is this one. So you want to put these 4 inside of my first div, and this will get multiplied a few times. Alright, so to do that, you write my first div dot append, and you put the home team. And the order is important here, because you wouldn't want the result to be like all the way to the left and like away team after it. You want it to be in this order: team 1, home result, away result, team 2. That's the general look of it. That's how most do it. Alright, next up is going to be giving it an ID and a class name. So we're just gonna call this home team dot class name equals to theme. Actually, just call this team. Now let's call it home team, and also give it a second class called team. The home team is more for like putting the text to the left, and the team is the general team CSS. And then the order of this code doesn't really matter, so you can just do whatever you want in here, but the order here matters. So you could do this in whatever order you want, but this order has to be this way. Result, blah blah blah, home team away result, result. We can delete this one. Actually, we'll just give it the result class as well. And away team result, copy this. Away team. Alright. We also want to give this the class as well. We're gonna call this dot class name equals to, let's call it, what do you want to call it? Grid class, I guess. Alright, so what we should have right now is nothing, because there's no text content in this. So we want to put in some text content. We want to put the value for this one as, no, the placeholder at 0 right now. You could give the value of 0 as well. Dot placeholder equal to 0. Oh, not home team result. And we write away here 0. Okay, so we should be having something right now. Yeah, 0 0 0 0 0 0. But let's say if you want to put like a value as well, you can put a value as 0 as well. Dot value. Now it's going to say actually 0. Now it's numbers, you can mark the numbers, but if you delete the number, there's still a 0 right there, but it's not a number, it's just the background text. So you can write whatever you want. You can just say a number. So if you delete one of them, Oh, this one. It's gonna say a number, so that's what the placeholder is. But as a value, it's actually existing. You can count a value. You cannot count a placeholder. So that's the difference. But I want the placeholder to be 0. It looks better this way. And since it's value, it's always integer, I guess, I hope. I'm not really sure, but it would be appropriate if it was that way. And when it comes to the team names, this is where it gets interesting. We have the information right now, and we are inside the fetch, so we can pick up the information as well. We want to start putting in the, what do you call it? The groups, I guess. So basically, we are going to get the home team. Where's text content? The text content. And this loop is going from 0 to 6, which basically means I can do home team and X. So this one is picking up the home team dot text content. It's equal to. So we have let's see, group 1. Oh, you want to get this one, matchups. And inside the matchups, we want the first object. And then the first object again. Alright, nice. I really should have this a bit. Just copy this shit and paste it here. To make my life a little bit more easy. So 0, 0 is going to be this one, 0, 0. It's more like this, but it's like this right now. So by the first bracket, we're entering this one. The first object is this one. And yeah, we're just picking it up. And this video has been 45 minutes already. That's nice. And we're going to have the second home team is going to be first object. The second object, we want this one, number 3, which is the first one. And then the first object, yes. Then we're going to copy this. So these are always going to correspond. I guess they're just going to go from 0 to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. That wasn't too hard. And the away team, which is this one, you can just copy this again. We can copy the whole thing, to be honest. And write away here. That was a good away spelling. And paste it. And we're going to write 1 here instead. I think, yeah. And that should be it. I'm pretty sure. We go back here. Nothing happens. Nice. Which means there's some error somewhere. Smart. Yeah, we need to put this outside this stuff. This can't be inside. Instead, let's do we gave it a class, so let's just say let let's just do this document dot query selector all hashtag and goes, and we gave it home team. We just can replace this. Actually, let's give this in. Let home div equal to. I can do the same for away. It's funny that most of my code the right is wrong. It should do the same thing, to be honest, not in a correct way. Alright, now still something wrong. Is there divs, right? It's not. We don't have an ID of home team. We just have a class of home team. Oh my god. Let's give this an ID as well. That was stupid. ID. Alright. I just put this a bit here. Now it's going to work. Holy cow, that was stupid as hell. Like, very stupid. Alright, there we go. Maybe? No? Still nothing? Hashtag home team. Oh, we can't have this. There we go. There you are. And that's what we want, basically. Except it looks ugly as hell. So now we're gonna do CSS. We copy this one, grid class. And we go to CSS. And we can do it as display, grid. And we can do this special grid thing. Grid template columns. As for the first one, we want like 100 pixels. The result's going to be like 50 pixels, then the other results can be 50 pixels, and the away team name is going to be 200 pixels. I should fix the look. There you go. And to fix, why are these names gone? There are names here. What the heck? Interesting. Is it because just put -1 on all of them? -1. Actually, the better way to do it is just 0 versus 1, 2 versus 3, 0 versus 2, 1 versus 3, 0 versus 3, 1 versus 2. That should fix it. Yeah, there you go. And to make these go to right, if you inspect it, it's called the away team. Actually, just called, yeah, away team. This one, copy. And do class, fixed align, right. And that should fix it, yeah. And we want these to be centered. We gave them a class of result. And there's two classes. You can use both classes if you want. And text align center. That should fix that as well. There you go. And I think we made it a bit too wide, so we just make this maybe 30 pixels. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, so that's group 1 matchups. And it should match up to this. And you can do whatever CSS you want. And to duplicate this, you just go into, if you put this inside of a bracket, maybe if you put this inside of here, now we don't have to. If we made this inside of, we just do it by ID. Let's give the ID group 1. We paste it as here as well. Group 1. Okay, so we're just gonna copy this entire code piece and put it inside of brackets. We can do our life easy. So we're just gonna copy this, paste it again, and change this to 2. And change this to 2. And somewhere else we're going to change it. There, 2. No, not that. That doesn't matter at all. I'm just trying to see where I get the information from. Oh, there. This one to 2. Right, so that should do it. Yeah. And that's all the matchups. So this is the... You could also put like some spacing between them. How would you do that? Good question. I guess you could do this inside here. If you open it, container. Yeah, maybe not so good to have the same container. Let's make it 2 containers. Container group 1, group 2. Let's put some BR here. BR, okay. So to fix this, we just do... We put this inside of this one. And we're gonna call it this. And we do the same thing in the other one. And 2. That should fix it. Yeah. Now we get some space between them. And you can do whatever you want, but that's basically we achieve this, the match pattern. So now you can write, where is it? Write 2, 1, 1, 2, and that's how you do it. Hi guys. Thank you for watching for 59 minutes. I hope this video helps, and I know the code is not very practical, but there is simpler ways to do it, but this is the simplest way to do it as a start. Hope you're gonna watch part 2 as well. Adios.